Hey, what it do, man? It's Hood Scout back for another Hood Scout High School football show, man. It's like my second or third episode. Today, man, I got a special guest. I got a coach of a big time program, or he gonna take it to big time heights. Um, a guy that I'm gonna really let him introduce himself. But I thank him for his patience because we've been on here about 30 minutes trying to get out these kinks of this technology stuff. But we good. And I got Coach DeMarcus Harris with me. Coach, introduce yourself. Tell the people who you are.
Man, DeMarcus Harris, head football coach, athletic coordinator at Mesquite High. Man, I'm happy to be here. Hood Scout does a lot of good things, a lot of exposure for our kids. So whenever he asks me to do something, it's a good chance I'm gonna get it done.
Okay. Let's go from the beginning. If people don't know your story was on CBS. I think I want to say Keith Russell did that story. Hope I
hmm
didn't butcher his name, but he did that story and just talked about some of those hardships you had to overcome. When, at what age or what period of time did you know you wanted to go into coaching?
Well, man, I've kind of been a coach my whole life. I was kind of the guy that, what little bit of rough life that we had, I was the guy that kind of held it all together and took care of everybody. I was usually the level-headed one. Um, So I just knew, man, through this game and being a part of a team and being a part of that family, saved my life. So I'm just trying to give back to everybody else. So you want me to talk about my life
Yeah,
or
just I want you to talk about um so you played high school ball. Was that in Pittsburgh, Texas?
that was, man, that was. So
Okay, now talk about that and then kind of we can go from there.
okay, well, yeah, I played at Pittsburgh, man. We started struggling about middle school. Drug epidemic hit the town, hit my family hard. My mom, my stepdad, my dad was incarcerated. I think he got locked up when I was 9 years old. He was actually at first time ever seeing me do anything was 2 weeks ago versus Heath. So
Oh wow.
that was exciting for me, man. It was a big time. You're talking 30 years later. Here's my dad. Shows up at the game. I got a great relationship with my mom and dad, but um, rough, man. I was homeless. I lived from house to house. I lived with friends all throughout high school. Man, I got kicked off of every team I ever played on except my senior year.
Oh wow.
Man, just because I had a problem with authority. Here's a kid, I'm seventh and eighth grade, raising myself. I'm out. I don't have a curfew. I'm out 7, 8. I'm out really 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Don't really have anywhere to go. And then my friends around town started, hey man, you can stay at my house, and you can stay at my house, and you can stay at my house, and um, it ended up being just a good deal for me because I ended up being like my brothers and like my family. But man, the first time I had my own bed, I was a freshman in college. Man, the first time I
Hmm.
was sleeping in a bed, I was on people's floors and couches and all those things. But man, I always had a good spirit. I always had that fighting spirit too, that it was gonna get better. I
Hmm.
mean, let me just keep going. It's gonna get better. I made good grades in high school, just because I was super competitive. I, I had one of the highest scores on the SAT. I ended up getting an academic scholarship to one of the best schools in the country, Austin College, which is like Harvard, Princeton, Yale.
Oh, you cut out, coach.
Um,
Okay.
got you. You got me. People are here to help me. They're not out to get me. And then the blinders kind of came off when I went to Austin colleges that these kids were the same age and they've had some different experiences. But there's a different way of life, man. All I knew was the hood. I knew about hustling. I knew about the cars, the flash. I knew about that. I didn't even think about going to college. I knew I was gonna go pro in the hood. You
Hmm.
know, everybody knew me. Go ahead.
Let me stop you real quick, coach. So because who knows, this might be a listener that listens to this from out of town. When they hear Pittsburgh, Texas, where is that? Is that like a smaller town? Kind of, you know what I'm saying? Because they might not have ever heard of, they've heard of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. They might not have
Yeah,
heard of Pittsburgh, Texas.
that's right. I don't even know what Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania is about. I know where Pittsburgh, Texas. We call it Pittsburgh, America, man.
Okay.
No H, It's Pittsburgh, no H. Small town, 4,072 people. And you would think it was a small country town, but it's a lot going on in that town, man. You can get yourself in trouble like you're in Compton. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
There's some dudes out there like that, and it's one of those towns that if you're not careful, you'll get stuck, and get a
Okay.
case, and you'll be fighting charges, and you won't be able to get out, and that cycle kind of just continues with your family, and you're not gonna get out of that place, man. But if you can get out, and we've got a lot of guys that got out, we got a lot of head coaches, man. At one time, per square area, Camp County, Pittsburgh, Texas, was the richest county in the world.
Wow.
We got like NFL guys. Bo Pilgrim's there. He was a billionaire at one point.
Pilgrim Pride.
Pilgrim Pride, man. He's got a mansion in Pittsburgh, Texas, man. Carol Shelby Mustang, Pittsburgh, Texas.
Okay.
The Ezekiel airship, the first airplane. They don't get credit for it. The Wright brothers get credit for it, but Pittsburgh, Texas. Cavendish Boots, Pittsburgh, Texas.
Oh, wow.
The first guy to ever spike a football, Pittsburgh, Texas. Homer Jones. He lived right down the street from my mother-in-law. And so it was one of those towns, man. It just kind of had that just a little bit of everything. You could get country, you could get hood, you can get good, you could get bad. And you just, I was fortunate enough, everybody was saying, hey, man, that's that little smart dude, man. Y'all don't, they never gave me, never forced me to, or tried to tell me to sell drugs or any of that. They helped me out and kind of kept the older guys kind of kept my nose clean and kept my hands clean. And that kept me, pushing through the times, the hard times. And man, I like my city, man. My city loves me, and I love my city, man. I love Pittsburgh, Texas. So
yeah. And I think like people like you just talked about them people, they're gonna talk about you like that, coach. When you win your state championship, they're gonna say, DeMarcus Harris, he's from this town. They're gonna speak of you. I believe that. So coming from a rough area, and I'm sure many of our students, our athletes know what that's like, whether you be, I don't care if you're from South Dallas to Compton to wherever, you had to overcome some challenges like a lot of our youth have to do. So that leads up to, like, say, high school. You got an academic scholarship to Austin College. So from that period, kind of take us from that Austin College. You come from the struggle. The OGs looked out for you. When you kind of got to Austin College, what was your mindset and what was your trajectory from there?
Man, you wouldn't believe this. I've been around hustling, guns, gangs, thugging. Man, the most afraid I ever been in my life is when I went to Austin College, because everybody was so different. Okay. Nobody was like me. And it's easy when everybody you're around are like you, but what about when these dudes are just different and they looking at life different? So that was different for me, man. But I knew if of course I played football there too, man. I was first team all conference, 30-30 in the nation in tackles.
Okay.
I mean, dominating the game.
What position?
I played Mike linebacker, man.
Okay, so, Mike linebacker.
Yeah. So I just balled out and was around some good coaches, around some good men. My roommate, man, was a preacher, man. He wore a suit and tie to school every day. You know what I mean? So I got to see how he ironing his shirt, slacks on, man, nice shoes every day. Man, so, Chris Moore, and I still talk to him today, man. He's a preacher down in Houston at one of those mega churches. I had David Aird, who's a business major that also speaks 2 or 3 different languages. Those guys, we were brothers too. African American kids, and just seeing those guys. And we had a kid from Africa, man. We kind of Mustafa Jin, and then we had Adiruf Adimani, who was from India. But just being around those guys, same age, we're all different, but man, we always just trying to get out and better our lives and better our families, man. So, college was rough. You talking about me? I put myself through college. Nobody sent me.
Okay.
Nobody bought me books. Nobody paid my tuition. Nobody helped me with my apartment. Nobody, I did it on my own, man. I figured out ways to, I'd go back home and work and all those things. So just figured out a way to get through. And did it get tough? Yeah, man. But you know, I like tough, and when it, you
Yeah.
know, hard, I'm 100% okay with it. I'm not uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Cool with that. Like if it's too easy for me, I think, oh man, something's about to go on. So,
Yeah.
but just grinding through that, man. I graduated from Austin College. Man, my first job was at DeSoto East Middle School.
Uh-oh. Now what? Look, two things, coach. Even going back to high school a little bit, you didn't have a coach or anybody that was willing to help you. Number one, and then number two, at what age did that first small break come throughout the college
My
when you went to
my
DeSoto?
my senior year, I did, man. The head coach Gary Luttrell, he gave me another chance, let me on the team. He told me I had to work, so I had to work
Okay.
for this guy that becomes my mentor, who's a millionaire down in East Texas. He becomes my mentor. He was a professor at the college, you know, and he would just pour into me, and it worked the heck out of me too.
Okay.
He had a farm with 400 or 500 acres and cows and all that. Man, I wasn't into that. You know, I'm from the country, but I really wasn't into that. But
Oh
being around him, just seeing him, and he gave me a check every day. He bought me lunch.
wow.
He bought me lunch, and then I worked for him on Saturday. So he'd buy me lunch. He paid me $10 an hour. You know,
Okay.
I'd get done with football, watching film, and I was straight out to his spot. My head coach would drop me off at his spot.
Okay.
And I will work, man. I get there, and he's an older guy, man, probably 60, 70 years old. He working hard. So I'm like, man, I can't let this man outwork me. But
Mm-hmm.
he was teaching me those life lessons too. Teach me like, man, I'm gonna be here for you, man. You can do this. You can change your family's life. Jim Archer, man, I call him, and his wife is awesome, man. They're good people. And they sent me money through college more than my people did, man.
Okay.
So, and then Tim Ender, man, he's down, and I think Coach Ender's down in East Texas somewhere. I can't think of he's at a little small town now, but
Mm-hmm.
he was a basketball coach at Pittsburgh. Him and his wife, art teacher, Karen Ender. Man, just you can do it, man. He was the guy that took me into the bank and was like introduced me to some loan officers. And like, man, I didn't have a car, so I had some money. He was like, man, go up there and tell them I sent you, and I still deal with that bank today because of him. And I still talk to him. I go to his house when I go to East Texas.
Oh wow.
But it was me starting to realize like they're here to help me. They're not
Mm-hmm.
get me, and it was a lot of it was me just relating to authority. I struggle with that. Here I am, you're talking about considering myself grown since 6th, 7th grade, So that was rough on me. But then, getting through and people believing in you, pushing through, and then my first interview ever was at a middle school's crown over that fed in the Dengar. So I had the choice between Dengar feeder and DeSoto High's feeder, right?
Okay.
Dengar had just opened, right? So
Uh-huh.
who do you think I chose?
DeSoto.
I chose DeSoto, right? And then
Yeah.
I think God gets like,
Now, what age was you, coach, at the time? What age was you? How
man,
old
I
were you?
was 23.
Okay, 23. So this for y'all young coaches, listen up.
Yeah,
So you was 23.
23. Man, I at middle school, you just got to get my feet wet. Learned a lot. I got to see Von Miller and Cyrus Gray and Tony Girardetti. All those guys were NFL guys that were on the varsity team at DeSoto. So, got to be around that. But I also felt like I could coach on a high school level. I wanted to coach on a high school level. I've always been a student of the game, loved the game, understood stuff, and that's how I play. That's what made me so successful because I studied the game so much. And so, man, after that year, I go to Dallas Hillcrest. All right, I
Okay.
spend like 3 or 4 years at Hillcrest. You're talking about picking kids up, cooking, getting kids haircuts,
Mm-hmm.
feeding kids, I just remember making runs to the bus station to go get kids and get them to practice. Man, left there and went to Little Elm, become the defensive coordinator at Little Elm with Donald Stowers. His son is Eli Stowers, the quarterback that was at Guard.
Oh yeah, I got you at A&M now, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly. And then the running back was Ashomadi. He was Cobb. He was the running back at Guard. His daddy was the OC. And
Mm-hmm.
so I was at Little Elm. I stayed in Little Elm. I was driving from Mansfield to Little Elm. You talking about
Ooh,
2
what was that
hours
like a
there?
40? That's a drive.
2 hours there, 2 hours
Nice.
back. You
Okay.
know,
What and then during this time period, you're young, you're still in the mid-20s, coach. What is your thinking as a coach? How do you feel? Do you feel like, man, I'm finna move up these ranks? Do you feel like, oh man, I need to catch a break? Like, what's the mindset of you in your 20s? I think that's was that your third job, right?
third job. But I'm
I was like,
thinking, man, you
what's
got to
your
think
mind?
about me. I'm still thinking like I'm a street dude.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, yeah, I'm just doing this, but I'm a street dude. You know what I mean? Like, so I leave Little Am, and this is really what changed my way of looking at athletics and coaching, man. I got with Carlos Lynn,
Okay.
Stephen Halford, and Vincent Green. I got with those guys at Seguin, Arlington Seguin. Now,
Say those names again, coach, because whoever they did, those men deserve their credit. Say their name one more time.
Carlos Lynn is a head football coach at City Hill High School. Stephen Halford was his OC. He passed away a couple years ago. And Vincent Green, who's my assistant head coach now, were at Seguin. So these were African American men that they were doing it the right way. When I got with those guys, I was like, man, they're passionate about helping kids, and that's what I've always wanted to do too. But they were passionate about helping kids, and they went the extra mile, and we picked kids up, and we just wanted to make sure kids were doing stuff right, man. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm with them for 4 years, and I get to watch Carlos Lynn work, man. You talking about just gonna do stuff right,
Yeah.
so everything, and Coach Harris said, it ain't got to be like this. You can. You're a great coach. You got a great mind. You're a grind. I was a grinder, bro. Like
Yeah.
all I knew. Like I'm going to outwork everybody. Give me a job, it's done. I
Yeah.
got to break film down. If you need the film broke down, I got your film broke down. Like I was a linebackers coach. I had the film broke down on Tuesday, every game. By
Yeah.
formation, by personnel, by everything. And I'm handing it to the defensive coordinator. It's on his desk. It's done. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need
Hold on,
somebody.
bro. You just dropped the nugget, man. And we got brother Ben. I see you tuning in, man. Yeah, this coach DeMarcus Harris. So thank you for your comment. Uh, so what age are you? Were you breaking this film down? You're still a young assistant. You're a linebacker coach.
Yeah,
I mean that's a lesson to these young coaches who probably think they're doing a lot, coach.
I've always like that. Nobody, people don't really understand a lot. Like, okay,
Okay.
let me go back to Hillcrest, right? Do a Hillcrest, you were taping ankles, you were setting up the field, you were the guy making the ice, you were the guy doing the water bottles, you were the guy taking the kids home. You did everything. Like, so you learned how to work. That's why I respect DISD so much, because I learned how to work.
Okay.
Like it was a straight. It wasn't no breaks. Like you are you looking around? No, it's you. You're the trainer. You're the water guy. You're the guy that's gonna help cut the grass. You're the guy that's gonna be teaching. So, learning how to work. And then I always felt like, well, I don't just want to be a rah-rah guy. I don't want to just be the hype man. I want to be this X's and O guy too. So
Okay. Oh.
I'm talking about, man, I drew formations. I would fold up sheets of paper, man. I drew our defense versus every formation in the world. I'd make up
Wow.
formations. And how would I play this? How would I play that? And, and then so it started, just ringing in my head at times, man. And I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, like, hey, we need to do this. But
Yeah.
and then so when I went to Little Am and I got a chance to be a defensive coordinator, and then I go to Seguin. I'm kind of cold, but man, everything that needs to be done is done. You ain't gonna have to worry about my group. My group gonna be on point. Just give me the guys and let me go to work. And that kind of carried on. Man, I leave Seguin. One of my college football buddies get a job. He gets the Richardson High job.
Okay.
And I want you to come. And we have been talking about this for 2-3 years, even when we were in college, like, and then up until my career. So we've been talking about it for 8-9 years. I mean, I'm gonna be a head coach. I want you to help me start my program. So
Okay.
I go to Richardson. Okay, I go to Richardson for literally summer and football season. Right, we go from last place in defense to first place in defense.
Okay.
With not a whole lot of talent, but
Yeah.
Last place. We didn't win any games, right? Don't win any games. But I learned so much that year under him because he was super organized. He had a way of doing
Mm.
things, why we practice this, why, and he kind of Greg Pels kind of taught me the why behind everything. Why are you doing? Are you just throwing it out there? No. Why? He would ask me,
Mm-hmm.
no, why is that play number one, Coach Harris? Why is that play number two? Why is this play over here? Why is it where are you setting your drills up at? That changed my thing. That changed my mindset. Like, man, how you do anything is how you do everything.
Yeah, and that's one of your sayings.
Like it everything matters. Like how you break it out. Which hand are you breaking it out with? Right?
Mm-hmm.
I break it out with left hand, so your heart's in it. Just
Okay.
you're talking about going back to the minute things, right? So in January, Joey McGuire gets the Baylor job. He goes to Baylor as an assistant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Coach Lynn interviews for the City Hill job. Coach Lynn calls me. Now, mind you, I just left Seguin. I've been gone essentially 5 or 6 months.
Okay.
Okay. He calls me. Hey, man, I want you to be the defensive coordinator at Cedar Hill. I'm on the way. Right.
Okay.
So,
So it's again you was the
yeah.
assistant coordinator, and
Uh-huh.
then at the
Cedar Hill.
at the other school you was the defense coordinator, and then you got
Yeah.
the call from Coach Lynn.
Uh-huh. So
Okay.
I go, I go to Cedar Hill, man, following a legend. You know how
Yeah.
hard that was hard, man, following Joey McGuire. You talking about a great, just a wizard, great. He was just great for kids. He was great for African American kids. He did a good
Yeah.
job. Did a
Yeah.
great job with those kids. And man, here I am walking into we're the show. ESPN's there for a week. Uh, Hub was there for a week. You got cameras every day. You got 100 people watching practice. It was crazy. But I had been all those experiences that got me ready for the City Hill defensive coordinator job. I had a why, I had a reason, I had a way we broke it out. I had all that. I had juice, I had energy, I had been to it. So I understood like the work part of it. And so, man, we go over there and for 5 years, we're top five in the state in defense.
Okay.
And the biggest accomplishment of all was every kid on defense, starter and backup, went to school.
Oh wow.
You're
Oh
talking
wow.
just on defense in 5 years, 6 years, probably 70 or 80 kids that went to school just on defense. But that's
Yeah.
because we check grades. That's because I understood like everything, the vital things. Like let me make sure these kids are getting everything they need, and we're gonna go the extra mile, and we're gonna stay on top of their grades. And we already knew the colleges were coming. Let's get our kids ready. So we found places for our kids to play. You got to think on that staff, man. We had DJ Mann, head coach at Lubbock Coronado, Lance,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
head coach at Molina. Um, and for a while, we had the head coach at WT White was there for a little bit, and the head coach that's at West Mesquite was there when we came in. He was the DN's coach.
Man, so are these all on the Coach Lynn coaching tree?
Nah, like the dude from that's at West Mesquite that went to Mahia. He was with Joey. We were only
Okay.
together for about a couple of months. But spring ball, he got a head job. And so we were together for a little bit, you know what I mean? But those guys all knew Coach Lynn. Coach Lynn was a City Hill guy. So, man, a guy that was my safeties coach is the defensive coordinator at ETBU. I got
Okay.
a corners coach that's a defensive coordinator in Florida. I got another corners coach who's a principal. So you're talking about a lot of great minds, great men that I was around, able to help me, get to where I needed to get to. So it's
Now,
just a
now
blessing.
when you got to Cedar Hill, coach, and you've had your experience at those other stops. What was what was something different there? Was it maybe the talent, maybe the players, or was it just pretty much similar to most of the other stops?
No, man, it was completely different. It was the culture, man. Like it was
Okay.
a winning culture. Like the kids understood it, the community understood it. Like they don't have football banquets at City Hill, man. They have ring ceremonies. They don't have football
Okay.
banquets. So you're talking about like when you walk into the City Hill Fieldhouse, the pictures on the wall, and the kids have been to college and NFL, and the gold balls and the state championships, and the weight room, and just all the powerlifting championships, and just
Oh
you can
wow.
feel it. The tile is a different color. You can feel it when you walk into that place. It is different, man. And so I'm gonna do everything in my power to get this place just like that.
Yeah.
Everything in my
Yeah.
power. I will give out before I give up. I'll
Yeah.
follow there before I give up. We're gonna get our kids to the next level. We're gonna get our community to the next level, and we're gonna get kids to college, man. We're gonna help them change some lives. So um, I'm able to hire. I hired two guys that I coached at Seguin. You know what I mean? So you're talking about just a blessing. I got to hire Vincent Green, our coach, with at Seguin.
Yeah. And
Coach.
I want you to really talk about your coach staff in just a second, but I want to go back to that Cedar Hill thing. Everybody should know Joey McGuire. He won state championships at Cedar Hill. It's right on the stadium if you pass by on 67. Big and bright for you to see it. State champions when they won. What was he's at Baylor now, and he may even get a head coaching job at the next level. What was like a little nugget, or what was something you learned about him during that process?
Well, Joey, man, he like last year on the state run, and he texts me every game.
Okay.
He had some good stuff, man, but he was just like, Joey's biggest deal is love the kids and they'll play for you.
Okay.
Care about the kids and they'll play for you. And so, that was right on time for me. I love the kids. I fight for them. I grind for them. I go grind for the kids. So I try to get them everything they need, everything they need to be successful. And then we hold them accountable, man. We stay at them and stay on them about grades and behavior and all that stuff. So that's what he that was kind of the biggest nugget, man. Is Joey worked out of love, like love for those kids. So they
Okay.
played hard for him. They played hard for me.
Yeah, we should have. And a lot of people don't know this, but I followed Cedar Hill really close last year, and I wasn't really close to that program. Is as I got back into high school football, it's just the way fate have it. I think I got really invested with them. They had a big win over Alito last year. I think that was one of the first games.
Yeah,
And then about
we held them
November,
to
man.
we held them to their lowest point
Yeah,
total in the last
yeah,
20 years. Yeah,
yeah, and that was a big win, man, because that was a big win if you follow Texas football. So I really got close to you guys around that November time, right before the playoffs. You had Caden Salter who went on to go to the next level. So that y'all went to the state, and you was there for some years, defensive coordinator. Linebackers. Take me. Well, first off, I'm sure that was a great feeling, but take me into that moment of okay, I'm ready to step in as a head coach. What was that like? I mean,
man.
I don't know how. What was that call? What was that process like?
I always wanted to be a head coach. After I got with Coach Lee and them at Seguin, I was like, man, I want to be a head coach. Seeing those guys work, the way they do things and impacting the community and impacting kids. I was like, man, I want to be a head coach, man. I want to run a program. I want to help everybody I can help and do it my way. But I've had interviews probably the last 6 or 7 years for head coaching jobs, man. I never got any one of them.
Is it okay to name a few of those schools on record, coach? Oh
Nah.
no, if you don't want to, that's fine. No, that's fine. No, that's cool. Hey, nothing wrong with that, coach.
Nah, you don't want to name, but
Okay, that'll work.
I didn't get any of those jobs, man. And head coaching, becoming a head coach it's you can go in the interview and kill the interview, and that don't
Wow,
mean that you're gonna be the guy. You know what I
wow.
mean? It's like that because it's just I mean I don't know. It's just the way it is. So,
Mm-hmm.
but this year it was different. We made a run. Sometimes I was seeking jobs. This time they were seeking me.
Okay.
Um, and so I build relationships with everybody I come in contact with, and people were putting my name out there, and this guy's ready, and this guy's ready, and he's ready to be a head coach. And man, that was kind of the first time. Like I knew I wanted to be a head coach, but I felt like, man, I'm ready.
Okay.
You've seen The Last Dragon, right?
Mm-hmm.
The glow. I felt like I had the glow at that time, like The
Okay.
Last Dragon. So, man, it just felt right. And Mesquite, the people, interviewing with them and talking to them, I was like, man, this is where I want to be. This is where I want to, I raise my family here. They're going to help me. They want me to be successful, and they love what I'm bringing to the table. And there wasn't any question about that. And I like working for people, not places. So, Cody Groves, I'm in. Let's go. Let's go get it. So, great move, man. We got this program moving in the right direction. We got a chance to play for third place this week, and then we're in the playoffs. So, we're moving in the right direction. We're just going to get better.
Yeah, and for people that don't know, Mesquite, Mesquite won a championship. What would you say, Coach? That was 01, 2001?
2001.
Yeah, so that was about 20. Yeah, so that was about 20 years ago. So it's to me, and I told coaches, I said, man, it's almost like a sleeping giant. You know what I'm saying? Because I think you can do. I won't even say what I said in totality because it's gonna come to fruition. But I just feel like you could build that program up to become a winner. You know what I'm saying? And because you guys have talent, many people, this Texas high school football landscape, and I'm just gonna be honest, a lot of people when the school is dormant, they go in and raid talent, but that's not gonna happen. Coach, if you're a feeder system and your high school is Mesquite, coach is gonna get you right. So you took over the job, coach. Speak on the support. Speak on the coaching staff. What was your goal of? Let me go hire this coach. What was you looking for? How did you begin to build your staff?
Man, just over the years, the relationships I built with people. But I want to make sure I got some coaches that were about kids, not about egos, not about themselves. Coaches that are here for kids that understand grades, that understand behavior, that understands discipline. And knowing that those things are going to help us win football games, man, we'll win football games because we're better people, and that's why we're winning. Our kids just do better. We had 100% passing for varsity football. I mean, that hadn't happened anywhere I've ever been.
That's huge.
But going out, of course, Vincent Green was the first guy I hired as my assistant head coach. I had been with at Arlington Seguin. When we had talked about this for years. I mean, I went and hired Eric Shun, who was my special teams coordinator, who was the AD at Joshua. So you're talking about him helping me. He's been an AD. That's my first job. Hey, coach, you need to do this. This needs to get done. This needs to get done. And so, getting that stuff done. Then we got Yogi Gallegos, who had won a national championship at A&M Commerce, who was at Commerce High School at the time. So we got him. We got Desmond Ferris, who was a great O-line coach, he was a college coach, O-line guy. We got Zach Collins, who's he's also coaching the O-line, a young guy that trains O-linemen. Got Quentin.
Shout out to Zach.
Yeah, Quentin Dale. I coached up at Seguin. You're talking about a great coach, man. Corners coach, he's amazing. I got Coach Roark, who was my safeties coach.
Shout out to Coach. Yeah,
he's my guy. That's the defensive coordinator now. We got Danny Johnson, who have been, at DeSoto and Cedar Hill, North Crowley, who have been around these types of kids, and just a great man and great for kids. And then, I got Tedrick Burns, who's from Pittsburgh, Texas, that was a holdover from the last staff, so we kept him.
And then what position he coaching, Coach?
He's coaching the corners, and he's my freshman defensive coordinator.
Okay.
Young guy that's getting it done, does a good job. And let me see, I want to make sure I don't leave anybody out. Oh man, Joseph Judy, D-tackle. He's
a lot of energy.
Young guy, was up and coming, man, does a good job, great technical guy. But look, me talking about Doug goes over and beyond for his group, man. He'll pick them up, he'll feed them, he does everything. So he does a good job. We got Jeremy Hernandez, who's a Mesquite High legend. We got Reggie Fish, who's a Mesquite High legend. Keeping those guys on staff was a good move. They're doing a great job. They're growing as coaches too. So, and that's what it's about. Everybody growing and getting better and getting after. And then we hired Reese Shelton was a holdover. He was our freshman head coach, and then Jordan Foster's our freshman. Great guy too, man. Football, baseball guy. So, got a great staff, and I didn't want to rush my staff. I wanted to make sure I got the right pieces, and that's the reason we're having the success we're having. Part of it is because I got a great coaching staff.
Okay, and we coming up on almost 40 minutes, so I'm gonna get ready to let you coach. We've been rolling, talking for a long time. let's end with this, Coach. Where do you want to take this program? Whether it be facilities, whether it be where do you want to take this program, and then offer some words of encouragement to a young guy getting into the profession.
Okay, man. I wake up every day, and my goal is for this program to be, and it's all sports, but this Mesquite High's program and feeder programs to be the best program in the in the country. And
Okay.
so every day I'm at it like that. So, and that's just the standard that we've set. We're gonna have one of the best programs. People are gonna come. They're gonna see it this year. We're gonna have 15, 16, 17 guys go to school because we busted our butt for them and grades, and they're doing their part. So, but for a young guy getting in, get past because a lot of people fizzle out at about 5 years.
Okay.
But you have to every day understand your why. Why are you coaching?
Hmm.
Why are you coaching? You're coaching for kids. You're coaching to coach kids. Don't if your why is something else, get out.
Okay.
You're in the wrong. You're in this business. You're in the wrong business. This is a kid business. Get the kids right,
Hmm.
right. And if your why is all about the kid, how can I grow kids? How can I help kids? How can I love kids? Then you'll be all right, man. You'll never burn out. And that's
Wow.
what I got for the young people.
Wow. Okay, guys, if you heard it from his mouth, man, a great man, almost an hour interview with Coach Harris, the Mesquite Skeeters head coach. This team is going to the playoffs, and if I'm not mistaken, last year they did not go to the playoffs. So you're seeing dividends right now. They got a bright future, and be on the lookout for the Mesquite Skeeters. Coach, you know how I feel about you. I'm so grateful that you joined me, man. I feel like this won't be the last time. Even though we had some little issues as far as technical, I said, man, this is gonna be epic. I just knew it. I said this is gonna be epic. I got a fighting claw to get Coach on here. And Coach, one of his sayings is, "How you do anything is how you do everything." So, Coach, thank you, man. You know I'm gonna be at those playoff games, and much success, brother.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Okay, take care.
All right.
Bye bye.